All right, guys, what is going on? What's good? Hope you guys are blessed. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal Wednesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can we do a sound check? Can we do it? Can we do it? Who's on here? Who's on here? We got like 4 people. 4 people, maybe 5 people. We got to get those numbers up. We got to get those numbers up. What I need is a second screen recorder. We'll have to figure it out, but not right now. We'll figure it out later. What's good, Beverly? What's good, Dima, Naruto, Nina? Little rhyme scheme in there. What's good, Willow, Naruto? I said Naruto twice. 2020, Maximiliano, John C. What's good? Finally back. Had to call in, but what's more important? Priorities, man. Priorities. Know what I'm saying? What's good, Zay? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I might have to start going live on Instagram a little bit more often. I'm not live on Instagram right now, but I might go live more often here pretty soon. We'll have to see. But for now, what I would like to see is higher indices, is what I'm assuming. That is what I'm assuming. And we'll see if we get that. Or if we don't. We could not. Don't know. What's good, Akinola? What's good, Eli? What up? So, yeah. We are at the start of the afternoon session. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of volatility. That's always fun. Unless you get volatility against you, then you're like, shit. But when volatility does go your way, that's when it's beyond blessed, you know? And yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I had these highs as targets this morning, says Lee Bright. Yep. So did I. What's good, Nikki? However, we spent a lot of time in here, so I got out at break even. I didn't want to hold it. I'm glad I did, because I would have taken a loss. And I still feel like we could definitely clean some clocks today on the upside. You know what I mean? Anyone who's been short, they're killing it right now. But it looks like we're finally getting some sort of shift to go higher. Infinity made the live. Welcome. Yeah, I stream at the same time every day. A long time ago, some of you might not have remembered or have been here that long, but it was about 2.5 years ago. I had the After Hours Club, and that was on Saturdays. That was on Saturdays, which was cool, but it didn't last long because in my former endeavor, I was not allowed to bring students onto the platform, which was ridiculous. So, you know, I want to bring people on YouTube. I want to invite students on to talk about trades they take or talk about how they got funded or whatever. If you guys want to hop on, you're more than welcome to. I want that. You know, I want to share people's stories. I want to show other people's, you know, faces on my channel. But anyway, before I get away from what I was trying to say, on Saturdays, different day, different time period. And that was, you know, to accommodate for people who have to work during the time that we stream here, you know? So we got different people on different times, and I wanted to have that diversity, I guess. So we might bring that back one day. I don't know. I'm not going to make any promises though. I never want to make a promise that I know I can't keep, you know? So yeah, and Laybright's doing a good job over there. I forget what language you were saying that you teach in. I watched a little bit, and I have no idea what you're saying. I'm like I get the gist of it because I can obviously, you know, see the markups, but I'm like, I don't know what he's saying. But hopefully it's good. Hopefully he's saying the right things. That's what I hope. Know what I mean? That is what I hope. All right. So that looks like a market shift. Looks like a break in structure to the upside. That's what that looks like. The only, I guess, yeah, we all made lower lows there. So I mentioned this in the Discord earlier. Haitian Creole. I thought it was Creole, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to be wrong. But okay, I appreciate that. What's good, Vadu? What I said in the Discord earlier is I mentioned 34,150. I said we have triple highs up there. But in here, when I mentioned it, we were right in here. And I said, I want to see price run away from here, but it's not doing that. It's not doing that. I even tweeted down here too. I said, today's interesting. I want to see what unfolds. I wasn't trying to call the low. Otherwise, I would have said 34,150, you know, inbound or some shit. And I would have been wrong. Obviously. But it's not about being right, but it is about specifics. Saying that, look, I want to see explosive price. I want to see us trade away from this level. And we haven't done that until very recently, like the last 15 minutes or so. Now we have shown some sort of willingness to go higher. So is this our low of the day down here at 33,860? I could see that being our low. Right now, we're roughly in the middle of the range between the liquidity up here and this low. We're about halfway, give or take. I mean, I'm just eyeballing it. Right? So we're a little bit above halfway. So to me, so like right now, it could run stops here, maybe, you know, trade a little bit lower. We'll just have to watch it, you know? We left behind this imbalance here. That could be left open. Could be one of those instances where it just says, fuck it, flies higher. Okay. The Nasdaq did that earlier in terms of lows. I was watching this earlier, and Nasdaq had perfect, clean, crispy, ideal equal lows, and I said, "Oh shit, the market's going there." We got this massive sell-off, and then what's funny is I had multiple orders. I actually broke it up, and I wanted to short this imbalance, and then this one up here, but it never gave it to me. So it's like, fuck, it just ran for lows. I'm like, all right, whatever. And you guys already know how the market works. It always comes back and then hits your imbalance or whatever markup you have, and then it rips again. And you're just like, bro, I fucking had an order there, pulled it, and it would have tagged it and then ran. You know, it's like the market sometimes is gonna mess with you, you know? The market's like, haha, I saw you pull that order. Now I'm gonna go up there and tag it and make you cry. And make you cry, you know? So that's been my morning. That's been my morning. So being right, but missing the timing. And now seeing the move that I wanted to see earlier. So I don't know. It's an interesting Wednesday, I tell you that. So yeah, all in all, what I'm saying is I feel like we could have a bullish afternoon. Right? Like that's what I'm anticipating. Some sort of bullish afternoon. What did what did we do yesterday? What did we talk about yesterday? because my mind is blank right now. Do y'all remember what we did yesterday? Or that might have been Monday. I was thinking like take a screenshot and then I'll follow up later in the Discord. That might have been Monday. I really got to write shit down. Or get like an assistant, like have somebody write this shit down. Cuz I'm terrible at that. Yesterday we finessed a long piece. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, we fucking murdered yesterday. Like I don't think anybody on the entire internet got a better entry than I did yesterday. Not trying to sound egotistical, I'm just saying like 1 minute candle, no drawdown, like straight moon, fucking gangster shit. But okay, so that might have been Monday then. We talked about higher Nasdaq and S&P, and I think it was only the Nasdaq who had hit. I think so, yeah. Anyways, the point is, like, if it were me, okay, if you guys weren't here, if I wasn't a streamer and it was just me by myself, I would probably screenshot this. Or, I mean, I guess if I was really trying to finesse, I would say drop in lower, and then, you know, something like that. 3 p.m. is here, so I would want it to hit the highs before 3 p.m. So I would do something like this, and then I would screenshot it. I lied. I would I would mark up the times first. I'm sorry. I would mark up 12, 3, and 2. 12, 2, 3. Central time. So if you're Eastern, this would be 1, 3, 4. I think. If you're Eastern, you would add an hour. Okay. But anyways, and like this is pretty much what I would screenshot, because this is my thought process for today. We might trade lower back into this imbalance, potential mitigation here, and then zoom up higher. Discount imbalance, discount mitigation, external range liquidity here. And I don't see any reason why we would pause anywhere in here. That wouldn't make any sense to me. So the only thing that would prove me wrong otherwise is I would watch this 5-minute candle here. I mean, and this is not even including the other indices. I think if we close on a 5-minute basis lower than this orange box, I think I would probably be wrong. But to me, we've been, you know, the market's been trading lower. So a lot of people have been shorting, chasing price lower. Their stops are going to be above these highs. That's already been tagged. And morning stops or even London stops are going to be up here. Now, you guys already know how I do things when I cycle through. You know, I'm looking at the S&P. I'm going, what's happening over here? I'm looking at Nasdaq. What's happening over here? What I always look for first, I guess, well, number one's obviously liquidity. But when I'm saying, all right, I'm going to take a long position, I want to have a likelihood that the low of the day has been set. And a lot of times it's going to set a divergence here. Today, I don't think we have that. They all made lower lows here. So I could be wrong in that assumption. We could make a lower low today. I could be wrong on that. And if that was the case, then you know, that would be a losing trade or a losing transaction. But to me, I think that's what makes the most sense. Now, if you do look at Nasdaq, I'm going to get back to the chat in just a second, but just give me a minute. If you look at the Nasdaq compared to the Dow, okay, the Dow has clean highs. Equal is great. 3, like triple threat, delicious. That's what I like. And the Nasdaq already ran London's high, so it could still trade higher. Like, don't get me wrong, the Nasdaq can still do that, and that's why I would rather go with Dow versus Nasdaq, because to me it's just the target is cleaner with Dow. S&P, I don't know. It didn't clear stops. It didn't create highs. It kind of just took short-term highs. You got all of this here. All these clean highs right here. See these two, this one, and then slightly lower right here. All of that is clean before the market opens. Well, that's 9. 8:30 is here, right there. So like just after 9, or excuse me, just after 8:30, the stock exchange open, we have all these clean highs here. And so on a short-term basis, yeah, it comes up, clears that out, imbalance right here. How far can price go above equal highs? An imbalance. Okay, what's our high of the day? There's that. And then we've been lower. So to me, I just don't like the target. Well, not target. I don't like, I guess, the upside for Nasdaq, the upside for S&P. It's the Dow is the only one who has like a clean level of liquidity. So if I'm watching this is a fat imbalance too. I would watch if we trade like right here at this overlap of these two. I want to see what we do there. But if we just trade down into the middle of this imbalance, just disrespect this mitigation, I could possibly be wrong in that assumption. We could leave this open for another day, and then it probably wouldn't be today. That's just what I'm thinking. I already looked at Forex Factory. I don't think we have anything for today. So it's just going to be up to the PM session price action. A long time ago, or I guess like the way I would typically trade, if I'm confident, I would long on the way down. In a day like today, I would probably wait for a reaction and then get in. So probably like the next candle entry, or even enter a little bit late. That's kind of how I feel what I would do here. Unless you're just comfortable with, if I would be comfortable longing on the way down. Does that make sense? So hopefully I explained that the best way that I could. Mitigation model, Nasdaq manipulation, Dow Jones accumulation, no free lunch on Wall Street. Yes, I would agree. No free lunch on Wall Street. And it is Wall Street Wednesday. Just doesn't mean anything. It's just a random name I decided to come up with at the last minute. I do that a lot. Would you consider the DXY aligned with indices since the dollar dropped and indices went higher? I don't know what the dollar is doing at the moment. We traded higher today. We topped out at like 11.15. We've traded a little bit lower. It's interesting. Is that Sunday's gap? Yeah. The old dollar index traded right into the Sunday's gap and has traded off of that a little bit. Lower dollar the last 45 minutes or so. And then we didn't bottom on indices until 12. So I don't know. what I think is interesting is we saw a higher dollar and higher metals too. Which is not uncommon. But a lot of people say, oh, well, if dollar does this, metals do that. You have not studied enough. That's what that means. It means you have not studied enough because they fall in and out of correlation. I talked about that for years. They're not like directly inverse correlated. They're not. Plus, gold and silver have much stronger seasonality factors around the end of the year and the beginning of every year. I'm not going to go through that today because that's a whole nother topic. But seasonal influences matter in commodities. And when you look at all you got to do, okay, you don't ever have to take my word for it. All you got to do is go to a daily or a weekly time frame, look at dollar index and throw on gold, or vice versa. Look at gold and then overlap the dollar index, and you're going to see it. You're going to see it. Oh, sometimes they go up together. Sometimes they go opposite. Oh, sometimes they're together. Sometimes they go opposite. And you will be able to see that in the chart. Okay. The chart is always going to tell you what's there. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it was the sniper course. I wonder if I have some of those old videos. I might have to release that. Those are old though, man. Those were before the good microphone and the good editing and all that shit. But those were the classics, man. Those were the classics. And it wasn't until later that's when everybody started, you know, copying and pasting. But we're not going to get into that today either. Because I'm not here for that shit. I used to be, but I'm not here for that shit anymore. Not anymore. SPY closed the gap to the downside. Dow Jones did not yet. Yeah, I think you're right. Dow had a much, like when we talked about Dow yesterday, it was a lot stronger. And so the retracement today is probably not as deep for Dow as it would be for the other two. So that does make sense. Max. That would make sense. Let me see. I looked at currencies today. I didn't find anything over there that I liked or found worth mentioning. And this is probably it for today. We came off those highs with a wick too. And we're slightly higher on S&P, slightly higher on Dow, and we didn't even reach that high for Nasdaq. Interesting. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what we do if we do end up trading in that imbalance. But again, that's a fat imbalance, dude. That's a fat imbalance. If we condensed it, there's a 15-minute that's a little bit smaller. So we'll change that to like a darker gray. And we'll have to see what we do. Okay, so the light, like the lighter one is the 5-minute, it's larger. The 15-minute is the one here that's a little bit more refined, and it's with the darker box. Okay, and to avoid any confusion, we'll just do that. Just be mindful of this up candle here. Just be mindful that it's there. But I don't want to clutter up the chart too much. So we'll see what we do here. Because this could be a long position here. Okay. Not financial advice. I'm not saying to take a trade. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying we're watching price. We're gonna see what we do here. Okay, we could go lower, could go higher. All right, that's always gonna be on the table. But I feel like if we are going to run to these triple highs, then we should react in here. If we don't, I'm wrong, and that's that. But I would keep this up here though. I would keep 34,147 on the chart because that may be important at a later date. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. I don't know. Okay. So we're in this 15-minute here too. See that? We're here in this 15-minute. So I want to see what we do. Because that's slightly concerning too. The indices not aligning there. Because that, again, that could be a stop run to continue lower. That would prove me wrong. Like wrong on the idea of being bullish. Make sense? Oh shit, my phone's about to clap. And yeah, Max, that's a possibility as well for DJI. I know exactly what you're talking about. We delete all that old stuff from Friday's close to Monday's open for the stock exchange. You're absolutely right. This gap here, it could come lower to fill that in. That is a possibility, which would mean lower indices future side. Okay. E-minis, micros, all that shit. So this up candle here, right? We see no reaction there. We see none at all. US30 CFD has a gap as well. Yeah, that makes sense. That would make sense. So this trading all the way to the lower end and then just closing right there. Ooh, I don't know, man. If I went long on the way down, I would probably be a little bit worried right now. We'll have to wait. We shall have to wait and see, my friends. But part of me wouldn't short above this high because of these triple highs. And even if this is a high and this rips lower, I would not feel bad about not shorting. So, yeah, we're going to have to give this a few candles here and see what prints and then go from there. And then that'll be that. Trading all the way down there below the imbalance. Ooh. I don't know, Chief. Might be wrong on the longs. The high's not in a premium? Which high? You talking about this high? Or like these highs here? Like shorting that is not in a premium? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know because I don't know what the measurement is, but I just don't short when there's triple highs. I don't do it. I'd rather just wait. Eli says, why are my charts 10 minutes behind yours? Because real-time data is delayed for the future side. So you'd have to pay for it, which I think is like $5 a month or something to TradingView. Or, I mean, if you're trying to be if you're trying to be cheap, you just open a futures account and then you'll have access to live data because they're not going to let you trade delayed data. So do what you wish. Do what you wish. Yeah, this is a super deep retracement. And that's probably not what you want to see if you're bullish. Now, if one of these, let's say two of them make lower lows, but one of them makes a higher low, that would convince me that we'd be at the low of the day. And that's why I was looking for that earlier and we didn't have it. See this imbalance here on Nasdaq, like that, it completely traded through that. It's like it wasn't even there. It just sliced through it. So if it's not bullish, well, then we would do one of two things. Either wait for more information or switch the bias to go short. And I'm not switching my bias to go short. So that means we got to wait. And sometimes that's the hardest part. Know what I'm saying? Libra, do you know how much it is for the futures data? Or Eli, I guess if you go look at it, you can tell us how much it is. But I'm pretty sure it's like $5 a month. It shouldn't be super expensive. It is $5? Okay. Yeah, I wonder how much the exchanges make from charging $5 for live data for those people who pay for it. I wonder how much they make doing that shit. Probably a lot. So the Nasdaq, I believe this is, yeah. The Nasdaq just took that low. Watching to see if S&P is going to do the same and seeing if Dow is going to do the same. This is where the triple, not the triple screen, but like a chart that has all three of the indices. That's when that chart becomes good because we only have one chart here at a time. I guess I could probably set something up, but then all three on one screen, like side by side, does get a little bit confusing, especially if you've never looked at something like that before. But yeah, you just come up to here, up to the layout, and then it would be, I use this one. It's the first screen on that third row right there. And then all three are sandwiched like that. And that's what I look at. And so far, it only looks like Nasdaq has taken the low. What's going to be interesting too is this current 5-minute candle is going to be the close of the current 15-minute candle. And look at that potential imbalance here. It just completely ripped that apart. So what do? You wait. So if that's wrong, you don't want to force it. You don't want to go, man, nah, screw that. We got triple highs. That we do, but that doesn't mean we have to trade there today. I really don't even know what the downside would be. And look at that current 1 hour right there. We came, let me drop this. We traded all the way up and then came all the way back down. Eesh. That's rough. So if we did take screenshots of saying, hey, you know, we'll trade into that and then higher, you could update, I mean, shit, you could even update it now and go, okay, let's say we were wrong. Okay. What actually took place? Well, we traded lower in that first candle here at, I guess, the 1230 candle. It traded lower and then closed and gave no reaction to either the 15-minute or the 5-minute imbalance. And so if your stop is at this low, instead of taking a full loss, once that candle closed, I could just hop out. So what I'm saying is if you risked, let's say 1%, because you didn't wait for the candle to close, you longed on the way down, okay. Instead of saying, well, it could come back, you know, I don't know, and then just potentially taking a full loss, I would just admit, okay, I'm wrong. And instead of losing a full 1%, I could maybe lose 0.5% or maybe 0.6%, you know, something to that degree. Now, why would somebody want to do this? Well, John, what if it doesn't get to the stop and then reverses and it goes higher? And, you know, we could have made money or whatever. That's a possibility too. But, you know, funded challenges, funding accounts, whatever, you know, there's rules involved, and they have, you know, max daily, max weekly, whatever, max overall drawdown, stuff like that. And I would rather say, you know what, I'll take the small loss now, and whatever was left over, that could be put onto the next trade. You know what I'm saying? And that next trade might get your previous loss back, and then you can go back to full risk again. You know, it's strategic and it's smart. Money management, in my opinion. And so now this is that 15-minute close. So look at that. We came all the way down and then closed right in this down candle here. Eesh. That's rough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a good thing for the opinion of long. Right. Lee Bright. You can close, you just admit that you're wrong, walk away, or even just say, you know what? I'll come back tomorrow or whatever. Instead of just trying to hope. Hope is not a strategy, okay? As much as we would like it to be, it's not. Okay? That's what I did this morning. I will send the chart after reading my 10 pages. Yeah, okay. Post it. Post it whenever you're done. And that's what I'll do too. I'll have to see. I have a Google Drive with a bunch of shit on it, and I have like 2 or 3 external hard drives with a bunch of shit on it. So shit, I even have videos that were supposed to go in the sniper course that we never released. I might release that too. I don't know. They're old. I mean, shit. They're like a year and a half old. But hey, shit, one of them I think was really good. We just never released it. It was I think it was intermarket analysis or some shit with gold, or it might have been the like comparing gold to other currencies instead of just gold to dollar, like gold to euro, gold British pound, shit like that. It gets very intricate. But yeah, just unreleased content. I gotta find it. Unless I deleted it, then I can't release it. But anyways, you guys got any questions or anything while we wait for these candles to print? Because I really don't have anything else for you right now. Other than we had like 60, we had just over 60 tier 1 and 2 that were canceled on Sunday night. Or maybe it was Monday, because I had to like request it and they had to approve it or whatever. And there's a few that are coming back. We see people join the Discord, you know, every few hours or so. So we'll have to see how many upgrade their membership. What kind of papers are we talking about? Probation? John, how would I know that? How would I know what probation is like? I had a good friend of mine got into some shit. And I think he got like 4 or 5 years of probation. And let me say this. If there's one thing that I know about probation officers is they are not your friend. They are not your fucking friend. They are trying to put your ass back behind bars. Any minor thing that you do, any fucking thing, they're trying to rip your face off. And one thing too, and this is I mean, the entire jail system, the entire justice system that we have in the US is fucked. And that is its own conversation. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole today. But I do know you pay such an absorbent amount of money on probation. The fees for this, fees for that. You got to take drug tests all the time, which is a problem for some people. Not me. But for some people, it is a problem. You know, smokers will do anything to pass a drug test except actually stop smoking, which, again, that's its own conversation too. Okay? But I've seen some people just go above and beyond to pass a drug test. Anything except just not smoking. But anyways, probation officers, they're not your friend. They are trying to put your ass back behind bars. And it's a struggle, dude. It really is. Because some of these people don't have jobs, or they don't have very good jobs, because a lot of companies don't hire felons, you know, people with records. And so they don't make a lot of money. And then on top of that, they just got to pay all these fees for like years, dude. And I could see how that would be a struggle. So, don't break the fucking law. Don't break the law, bro. That's my advice. Not gonna give you trading advice, but I'll give you some advice. Don't break the law. And then you won't have to worry about that shit. But people don't want to hear that. You know? People just, they want everything except taking accountability. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. You can write that one down. Wisconsin, they spend more money on prisons than university. Well, that's fucked. Denied a few positions because of that. Getting my degree, but can't even get an Amazon job. Serve my time moving forward, but some areas are better than others. Yeah. No, but I mean, I don't know, bro. I've never been to jail, never been to prison. I got a speeding ticket last year, or not a speeding ticket. I got like no insurance ticket, and my inspection sticker was, that bitch was like 3 years out of date. I had to handle that, but you know, I just got that deferred and bought like 6 months of insurance in advance, and then just got that taken care of. But that shit was expensive too. You know, $180 for court fees, fucking, you know, however much it was for insurance and all that. I mean, I'm just dropping like thousands of dollars for no reason. But that's like my point, is a lot of people can't handle that, bro. A lot of people can't just spend couple thousand here and there, because they got to go do you know, the fees and stuff to the parole officers, POs. So they and I think they do it on purpose. They put you in that position on purpose, slap you with a felony, and then say, all right, well, we're doing this so you can never have a job, like a good job. So now you're never going to be wealthy unless you find a different way. And that, more times than not, just pushes people back to doing the crimes they were doing to begin with. Now, I will say this, though. Everything is a choice. So it's going to be your choice whether you want to go back to doing crimes or not. But is the law completely innocent in that regard? Fuck no. Because they kind of pushed you into that. That's my opinion. But anyways, this might be one of those afternoons where we don't do nothing until the final hour. Again, Nasdaq has made a new low. The S&P did not. The Dow Jones did not. So I really don't know. I think if it was me, I would scrap here. The longer we go not going to these triple highs, the less likely that we're going to get there. So what we would need to see, again, is price run from here, but then start actually respecting like bullish concepts. Like this imbalance I pointed out, and that was disrespected. You don't want to see that. So what I'm saying is if we leave, create imbalances on the way up, and then start respecting those, that would convince me these triple highs would be on the table for today. But if we don't get that, if we just bullshit around, I wouldn't even bother taking the trade. Wouldn't even bother. But anyway, John, as far as, you know, if I was in that position, bro, I've tried to put a lot of people onto trading. I've tried to put a lot of people onto entrepreneurship. There's a video I put out. It was literally a video on if I had to start over as an entrepreneur. And the very short of that is I would go I'd probably get like a regular job or find a way to get cash or just probably take out a loan. And I would go and buy a pressure washer, spend, I don't know, 300, 400, $500 on that, put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, slap a logo on that bitch. Doesn't even have to be registered. Doesn't even have to be copyrighted. Just a logo or a name or something, you know? And then just start pressure washing. I would do that. And then I would record all that. And I'd be on social media posting it before and after, before and after, before and after. I would do Free-Mo Fridays, which if you don't know what that is, that's there's a guy that does it. He does free pressure washing sometimes and free mowing sometimes. And people like to watch that kind of stuff. I would do that. So I'd make my money and then spend maybe a day or two out of the month doing free shit. Put that on the internet. Get that, you know, going. Blow up the social media, hopefully. Launch a YouTube channel, just like I have now. And I would launch, you know, memberships that were very cheap though. Like $2, $3, $5, and then maybe like $10 max, you know, to support the free whatever pressure washing, right? And then you'll get, you know, some people to do that. And then I would just grind the fuck out of that. You know, there are things that you can do. That's what I would do if it was me. But that's the thing, John, about pressure washing is in any type of business, businesses are not designed to hit a level and then stay there. You don't want to go, okay, I do 3 driveways a day, Monday through Friday, and like, this is how much I can do, and I can't make more than that because I can't work more than that. And now you're capped at how much you can make. You don't want that. So now pressure washing is a very low barrier to entry business. So you're probably going to have a lot of competition. But at that point, I'd say, okay, I'm maxed out. Now what do I do? That's when you start to delegate and you hire people. You go, okay, I'll hire 1 employee, and you know they'll do their job, but I'll get a cut from that. You know, every job they do, I'll get a small cut out of that. So now you're doing your job, and then you're getting a piece of what your employee is doing. So now you're making more, right? And then you launch your YouTube or Patreon, whatever. Hell, even like Instagram, you know, after a certain point, you can subscribe, like people can subscribe to your Instagram for like $5, $10 a month or whatever. And that's why I said blow up on social media. The more eyes on you, the more likely people are going to buy your shit. So then you got money coming in through your job. Then you got money coming in from the employee that you hired. And then you got money coming in from the social media side. Now you're growing and your income is going up too. So now you're not just stagnant. You're actually, you know, making, hopefully, this is all hypothetical, right? You're hopefully going to make more and more every month. You don't just want to cap out and then that's it. I mean, if you want to, you can. You just cap out and be like, yeah, I make X amount per month. And if that's good enough, then I guess you could stick to that. But I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't just want to be, okay, this is what I make and I'll never make more. That's not a good thing. That was one of the things that frustrated me about the last endeavor I was with. I was promised a raise for like 2 years straight. Never fucking got it until like the last 3-4 months. And I'm like, this is stupid. And it just gets redundant, bro. It gets redundant. Anyways, not that I was going to get into that today, but that's a whole nother conversation too. But as far as business goes, starting from scratch, yeah, I would do the dirty work. Literally, the dirty work. Pressure washing, maybe mowing. Mowing, there's too much shit involved. You got the edging and the fucking machines and blades and strings and all that other shit. You got to get a what do you call them? The truck with the it's not a gooseneck, it's something else. You got to carry all that shit with you. It's a lot more expensive versus going, you know what? I'll buy a $400 pressure washer. I'll put that bitch in the back of my personal car. And then I'm going to use your own water. You know what I'm saying? A lot less barrier to entry. Lawn care is harder to get into, and it's just too much, bro. You know, the people that do it, hey, more power to them. It's not worth the risk, in my opinion. And right, John, it is about the systems that you're going to have in place. But yeah, and then after that, I would just keep grinding, you know, keep posting to social media, keep making reels, and maybe even give tips like, oh, you see this type of oil stain on the driveway? We're going to use this special blue shit because it's got whatever chemical, and we're going to let that sit for 20 minutes, and then we're going to da 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 da. And, you know, just give people free value. And then that's it. But yeah, I made a YouTube video about that. I showed you how to make a logo, step by step, all that. Now, it was a video that I did that was not trading related, so you know, it didn't do very well. It kind of flopped, but that's all right. You can't ever say I didn't make it. I put it out 3 months ago. It's called "If I Had to Restart as an Entrepreneur." It's only 15 minutes. So, but you know, people don't want to listen to me. Oh, trading's a fucking scam. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, sometimes you lose money. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. Okay, guess what? You start your own business, there's going to be days where you don't make money or even you lose money. But not everybody's built for entrepreneurship, bro. Not everybody's meant to be a business owner or a YouTuber or a trader. I mean, sometimes people just don't want risk and then bitch about not having the reward. That's just stupid. Literally, that's just stupid. But yeah, if I couldn't get a job and I didn't have enough money to trade with, that's what I'd do. I mean, I know some people that would be a lot better off selling drugs, but I was never a drug dealer. I would be a terrible drug dealer. I would be fucking terrible. And it's just too much over the shoulder looking for me. So I'm good on that. I have a call center business. I'm on my third try. Finally, some money's coming in, but not that much. Hey, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. I mean, I want to go as far as saying that Fiverr, like, what's the word? It's not digital entrepreneurship. it's like digital services. Like if you go on Fiverr, there are people that charge for a number of things: thumbnails, video editing, picture editing, flyer making, social media management, all that kind of stuff. You could have a side hustle on that and make people's thumbnails, make, you know, I'll manage your social media for, I don't know what that would cost. Let's just say $200 a month. I don't know what the number is. Maybe that's low, maybe that's high. I don't know. But you could be like, hey, I'll manage your social media account for $200 a month. And then it's like, okay, you know, do that in your spare time. And then now you're making a little bit extra money at the end of the month. You do that between 3, 4, 5 jobs, like 3, 4, 5 gigs. That'll add up. But again, what you got to understand, this is the thing about business, okay? Whenever you enter any type of business, doesn't matter what it is, you have to look at the barrier to entry. The lower it is, like the lower the barrier to entry, the more people that's going to be doing it. So the more competition you're going to have. That's why when you go on Fiverr and you look up, say, thumbnails, there's a lot of people that do thumbnails. And when there's a lot of competition, what a lot of people do is start undercutting. And then it just gets to the point where it's so cheap that people are like, no, I can't do it that cheap. It's not worth my time anymore. And then things get oversaturated. So it is difficult. But you got to build up, you know, your clientele or whatever. It's hard. But if I had an extra 30 minutes to an hour a day to do stuff, I would probably do that. On you look. Okay, AI can do a bunch of shit. So you could say, hey, I'll edit your book, I'll edit your blogs, I'll edit whatever. And you might not even be that good at writing. But you know what? You take their content, you slap that bitch into Grammarly. It does the spell check, the grammar, all that. It'll edit it for you, and then you just send it back to them. You know? Thumbnails. Let me tell you guys this before we hop off here, because I'm just not bullshitting, but I'm kind of just talking to you right now at this point. And the Nasdaq was the only one that made a lower low today. So that is interesting. We'll get this a few more candles to print and see what we do. The thumbnails that I made recently, and you guys can see a difference. If you actually look at my channel, you'll see a vast difference. Like the one from yesterday, welcome back, Oh Sleeping Dreamer. That's got like a Reaper on it. Then there's the market review. Then there's the Philosophical Friday. That's just got like a Stoic kind of thing on it. The GBP study, that's got like a surf chick on it. The lion. And like some other ones. Those are all, I made all those with AI. On Canva. I made a shit ton of them too. I got a bunch. Dude, there's a couple of them that are really sick. Like just awesome. You know, you could do that for people on the side. Canva's like $15 a month. And you can charge people, say, I would say the most is like $20 a thumbnail, but that thumbnail is going to have to be fucking awesome. But you could just be like, you know what? I'll do a, you could partner with somebody and be like, look, bro, I'll make you 10 thumbnails a month, you know, for whatever, $50 or $75 or some shit. All right, well, Canva's $15 or 12. It might be 12 or $13. And then they're paying you 50, 75 or whatever. Or you could just say, you know what? I'll make you unlimited ones, however many ones you want. And then whenever they want a thumbnail, you just make that bitch with AI. And then you get 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 clients like that, paying you every month. You're abusing the AI, but everybody's getting their thumbnails. You're getting bread, and you're doing it in your spare time. I mean, dude, I could talk all day about side hustles, bro. Now, keep in mind, though, these side hustles, I'm not saying are going to be like a full-time income. Some of them could be if you charge enough, but you got to have some real skills if you're going to do that. So, but yeah, I'm just saying there's so many things that you could do to make, you know, side hustle money, extra $500, extra $1,000 at the end of every month. Especially if I was in like a foreign country. If I was in a country that the dollar, like the US dollar, is worth a lot more, I would definitely do that. I'd be like, man, I'm going to charge Americans in US dollars, you know, and then convert that into whatever country currency you live in, and you can make good bread doing that. I think I told you guys a long time ago, I had some work done. I was going to launch an NFT project, which was really fucking cool, but I never did it. But I did have, I think it was a girl from Italy who did like the NFT presets, and she did a really awesome job. I mean, it was way better than I expected, but she didn't charge all that much. In my opinion, she could have been charging a lot more than she was. But that's what entrepreneurs do, bro. They either start small or they start undercutting everybody else. And that's not what you want to do. Like those memberships here that were 5 and 10, that was not meant to be, you know, for income. That was meant to just have chat access and the emojis. But to actually build a community with like the Discord and private videos and all that, that's got to be obviously more. You know, that's my point. And so it's going to go like that with any of these side hustles that you're going to do. Upwork, similar. I've never been on it, but I know about it. What the fuck? So if you go on Fiverr, you just type YouTube thumbnail. They got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people on here doing it. So I'm telling you, it is saturated. But they start like at $5, $15, $20. You know? And that's it, man. But anyway, I could go on and on. There's so many things you can do. Just pick one. JD, you could do pool cleaning, but there's a lot of things I don't know about pool cleaning. There's all types of chemicals and bullshit. I mean, bro, you walk into a pool cleaning shop and everything in that bitch is expensive. You know? So I don't know much about it. Not enough to actually do that as a side thing. I don't know enough. At least I don't really have thoughts on gold other than I'm still like really bullish long term though. Like I know we talked about shorts in here, And then that ended up actually like ripping ass. We talked about, I think, 1802 as a potential, or 1805, whatever this level was. We never got to it, right? Remember silver, right? Silver had hit the daily imbalance and this weekly down candle here. We've reacted. Gold, same thing. And again, these triple highs have been up here since May of this year. So we have fallen off. But now we're heading near the end of the year, beginning of the new year. I could see gold flying above 2100. It's probably going to take some time to do that if we are going to do that. But all these highs here are too clean. There's a bunch of stuff going on in the world right now. Not going to get into it, but you know, stuff like that, stuff like what's going on can also help push metals higher. So that's why I keep buying more silver. I bought silver back in here. I bought silver on the way lower here. So I don't know if it's going to run above 30 again. But if it does, I don't know, great. But day to day, I don't really day trade the metals all that often anymore. I think if I watched it more often, I probably could. But I mean, it's very manipulative. It's the most manipulated asset there is. Like, okay, so I haven't looked at a 1 minute today. This is all hindsight, strictly hindsight. But what I'm saying, like how I look to trade gold and silver, this is a very clean example here. This is not London's low, because London's low is down here. But if you look at 1942, 1942, that sounds familiar. I think, is that Don Julio 1942? Anyways, all of these lows here is some sort of liquidity, right? And then you see that swept here, right? Look at this candle. That's a 1 minute time frame candle that, I mean, just whipsaws from 143 down to 139, 138 and a half, something like that. And yeah, I'm not sure what the target would have been here, but when gold runs liquidity and then runs away, it left an imbalance right here. And like that to me could be a very small, like small risk trade, like low risk trade, like longing the imbalance, stop at the low, and then, you know, probably taking partials at this high. Or if there's some like imbalance or something, there's a lack of wick up here, I guess, right? So like I would try to long that, partial here, partial there, and then be done. Now, again, this is hindsight. So obviously that looks perfect. Oh yeah, John, well, fuck. I mean, if I could get in at the low and get out at the high, I would do that too. Well, of course. But I'm saying that is like a strategy in itself. Liquidity, imbalance to, you know, other areas of liquidity. But if I don't have like equal highs or something, then I just leave it alone. You know? When I was looking at this might not have been, I might be thinking about a different day. If these lows here were equal, like that would be a downside target for me. And so what I would wait for is probably some sort of divergence or a mitigation. And I would probably short that. And then again, same thing, like I showed you a minute ago on gold, it's very small risk. You know what I mean? Like it's small risk, and I'm gunning for lows. You know, liquidity to liquidity, right? The market moves from liquidity to liquidity, and I would try to play that. But when it does this, when it goes slightly lower like that, I don't typically have those as targets. I typically don't. Now, obviously, if you look at it, you could go, oh yeah, John, well shit. I mean, it pretty much ran that. Yeah, it did. And I just would have missed it. And that's it. I mean, I can't, you know, tell you otherwise. I'm just telling you how I do things. And I'm looking for liquidity that's high probability, that's clean. And if it's not clean, or if it's something that I don't like, then I'll just leave it alone. And that's what I try to capitalize on. And I guess what we could do as well. Oh yeah, see? Okay. That's perfect. This is exactly what I did yesterday on Dow. Let me explain. Look at silver here. Silver made a low on Tuesday at 5:15. Okay? And then it went lower here at 10:10. Everybody can see that, right? It's simple. Yeah, John, that's a low and that's a lower low. Right. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. You look at gold. What did gold do? Where's 5? What did we say it was? 5:15. What the fuck? There's 5:15. There's 10:10. You see that? Gold is much higher, right? So that's a sign of accumulation. What the fuck? Hello? Are we back? Sound check, sound check. What the fuck, man? Is it still frozen, or are we good? Sorry. Shit always happens, man. Okay, okay, cool. Let's try to get back to it, because we've been here an hour and a half and I'm really hungry. All I had was a bagel today. I'm starving. My stomach is touching my back right now. Glitch in the Matrix. Yeah, that cat that came by that second time. The 1010 gold is higher, and it's that next imbalance here, or even a small imbalance here after this break of structure. So that to me that's cake. That's exactly what I did yesterday on Dow. This will be the last thing, and then we'll skedaddle. Let me just check the indices one more time. Yeah, see, they're just bullshitting around. They're just bullshitting around. Okay. See, I told you to come back at 2 o'clock, right? And that would have been the best thing to do. All right. Okay. I'm using Oanda price feed only because that's what I have, and I just want to make sure that I get the feed from. I don't want 2 different feeds from a different brokers. So if you're gonna do this, make sure you're getting the data from the same data provider. Okay. Anyways, this is the point I was trying to make. There was a video I did a long time ago. It was episode 98. I remember episode 98. It was if I only had to trade gold. Like, if I couldn't trade anything else, no currencies, no futures, no stocks, no options, no bonds, no nothing. If it was like, John, you can only trade gold or silver, that's it. I'd say, okay, no problem. No problem, baby, no problem. We can fucking do it. Lower low on silver. That's such a weird low how it doesn't light up. That right there, my friends. That right there. One of the smart money trading rules, that video was put out months ago, 5, 6, 7 months ago. One of the smart money trading rules, I think is number 8, 9, or 10. It was, if I'm going to long, I want to long the leader. Okay, well, what's the leader here? It ain't silver. It's gold. Gold is the leader. Okay. So then I would go into gold. And then it took liquidity, right? Because it didn't make a lower low, but it did take internal range and then filled in some of this shit. Right? So it ran it ran a couple lows here, rallied, and then really ripped all this in here. Rallies, leaves behind an imbalance, and then that's the long, like right in here. So I probably would have taken a little bit of drawdown. Went our direction, drops down, just some down candles, and then it gets sent higher. And then again, partial there, or even like 80%. In, out, hold maybe a little bit more. That lack of wick is up here. Or if I was trying to be greedy, I'd be like, oh man, we might make a new high, you know, and then maybe pick that. But in either way, you're getting in almost no drawdown straight into your direction. And that's obviously a discount level too. The lowest low is down here. The lowest low is there. The high is here. And this obviously is in a discount. Right? 50% down to the low. There's your discount. And then where's that imbalance? Right in the slightly higher time frame discount. See that? You got the divergence on your side. You got discount, the logic on your side. And then you have a proven imbalance. I'm not saying you got a long on the way down. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you wait for an imbalance, done. Or even these down candles, done. And that's the way I trade gold and silver. So congratulations, you just learned how to trade the metals. And that's it, man. It's simple. Divergence, imbalance, or some sort of order flow for liquidity or an imbalance. Simple as that. Why do I do shit like this? Because let's say I'm wrong. Okay? Let's say that you enter on that 1 minute imbalance and a stop at this low, but then it goes, oh, and then it stops you out. Okay, you took a small loss. But look at the reward based on that risk. You know what I'm saying? The reward is great compared to the risk. So you could be 50-50 and still come out on top. You know what I mean? It's very small risk. I'm not saying, you know, buy the imbalance and then have a stop way down here. Like way down here. I'm not saying that. It's super small. That's why I like 1 minute time frame sometimes, because the risk is very minimal, dude. Look at this. What the fuck? Getting pop-ups and shit now? My computer's... I need to retire this computer. She's about had enough. Even if it was right at the beginning and then a stop right here. Dude, that's such a small risk. Man, it's only a few points. Do gold ETFs hold much weight? What do you mean, Cameron? What do you mean hold weight? We just took those highs too. I think when it comes to, if I want silver now, I usually go with SLV or like silver options. I've done that before. SLV, iShares Silver Trust. This is what it looks like. So it looks just like silver, but obviously with gaps. So it does look slightly different, but same idea. Right back in here, that mitigation. I don't know. I think this was that weekly down candle. You see that here as well. So it's pretty much a replica of silver. But I don't know what you mean, Cameron, by hold much weight. I don't know. I don't know, man. It was in a long today that worked out. Stop loss was under the swing low. Price came back just shy of taking me out. Made equal lows and then ran a TP. Do you reevaluate when equal lows form at stop loss? Yes. Yes, I do. But that's just me. If I'm long and I see equal lows, I want to get out or at least go break even as fast as possible. Because I don't know if it could come back on you. So I think like S&P, for example, this was way earlier today. I was watching this, right? We traded lower and then we came up for equal highs and then traded off of that, right? If I'm short, let's just say from wherever, if I'm short and then I see equal highs, oh yeah, I want to lock in because I always feel like it's going to come out for trailing stops. That's why we do that. That's why I mention trailing stops all the time. And so I know, okay, well, if it's going to do that, if I can see that, then I just want to get out and just take what I can get, or at a minimum, go break even. So now there's no risk. Oh, to an extent. That way, if it leaves the highs and then keeps going, then you didn't like fuck it up by exiting early. So I'm always in the mindset of I need to reduce risk. I want to reduce risk. That's my mindset. But there is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. One tick above my stop loss just formed in the middle of the trade. What was this on? What were you longing and what time frame? And this looks very janky. Very janky today. MNQ 1 minute. MNQ. Oh, back in here, huh? Yeah. Like these lows. And that's the thing. The market trades higher, retraces. It ends up hitting, I think, this bottom down candle here. And sure, it does rally up to, I think this is London's high. Yeah. It hits London's high. But yeah, it leaves these behind. But why do you think equal lows are so important? A W or even like this retracement, markets rallying to go higher, people are chasing that. Where do the stops go? Right there and below it. And this to me, if you study this market, this is the last thing. I know I've probably said that like a dozen times today. And we definitely went over the hour. I usually try to do an hour. We're at an hour and a half. But why do you think the market doesn't retrace? Have you noticed that? Did you notice that about today? It rallies to make a new high and it doesn't retrace. It doesn't, I mean, there's like an up candle right here, sure. But that's the only one. That's 1 minute in this entire leg here, besides this little shit right here. Why do you think that happens? Because traders are long And when they see it start scrambling lower, they're going, oh shit, just rally a little bit so I can get out. Rally a little bit so I can get out. And then it just prints lower and lower and lower. Maybe, oh, I'm praying, I'm hoping. And then it goes lower, right for the stops. This is a picture perfect, I guess, price action for attacking levels of liquidity. Liquidity is a magnet, okay? Liquidity is a magnet. Price isn't going to want to just casually trade there. Look how we danced around a little bit and then we took off for London's high. And then we took off for the lows. This was not casual. This was very fast. The market's attacking liquidity. Okay? We have some highs here, it rallies for, and then immediately dumps for these lows. Okay? It's attacking liquidity, attacking liquidity. I'm not saying that every move in the market's going to be manipulation, because I don't think it is. Like in that sense, but look at the timing. What time did this occur? 8:30 is here. 9:30 is here. That's the first 1 hour. Okay? So the first hour, it forms the lows, rallies for London's high, and then a little bit past the 1 hour mark, it runs for the lows. So it only took about 60, 70 minutes to do that. 70 minutes. So just over an hour, forms liquidity, runs previous liquidity, and then runs the liquidity it previously created in 70 minutes. That's a very fast market. And that's what it's doing, in my opinion. Okay? And then what happens when liquidity is taken on the upside and the downside? It comes back into the range. And then what's it doing here? Consolidating. And now it's a little bit lower probability. For me today, I told you in the Discord, I even told you on stream that I wanted these triple highs. We didn't get that today. We pointed out this imbalance. We ripped right through that. Okay, well, if that's not being respected, then I'm probably wrong. So are we going to take anything in here? I'm not taking anything. This to me is garbage. This is garbage to me. And this did end up being a stop run, which I wasn't expecting. I just wasn't. Right? If that is a stop run, well, these lows, it could probably run that. But I'm not going to do anything with this today. You know? If I'm not in tune with the market, then I don't want to take anything. If I'm not right in my assumption about what we're doing here or here, if I'm just wrong, well, shit, dude. I don't want to be in the market then. Because now I'm just asking to take a loss. And I don't want that. So I'd rather just wait for something else. But anyways, that's going to be all for today. We've been here an hour and 40 minutes. So I know we talked about a lot of things, a little bit about price action, a little bit about gold and silver, how I would trade the metals. We talked about some side hustles a little bit. And that's really about it. So I don't have anything else for you. We're not going to get the triple highs. And today's one of those days where, hey, you know what? I'm not correct. I'm not correct. And that's that. So with that being said, I will put out the next market review tomorrow on Thursday. And then we'll be here on Friday the 20th for our next live stream right here on YouTube. So if I had to leave you with something today, well, shit, man. If we're not running the triple highs, These lows, we may be running for that. We might be running for that. That up candle there is respected. It might sink lower. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that little gap right there. See that? So there's that little gap inside this up candle, fractal high. And now it's sinking. Remember, what have we been trying to do? We've been trying to look for longs. Look at this big W right here. A lot of people are looking at this like it's a support zone. Where the stop's going to go if people are trying to long this. Oh, the last down candle. Oh, we're going to long that. And all the stops are going to be here. So at this point, yeah, it's probably going to trade lower. But again, just to close this off, I'm done. I'm not taking anything. I took a break even earlier. I'm done for the day. That's it. Because I feel like if I try and press something, I'm going to get fucked up. So when in doubt, just log out. Okay? Y'all be good, man. I will see you on Friday.
Hanging out.